It's right there in front of you. It's given to you. Live holy. As irritating as it might be to everybody else around you, live holy.
Many of our communities are falling because we're not taking the time to get this knowledge, getting wisdom, and being able to counsel people that we are in an interaction with.
You can walk into the room and you can say, by the power of the Spirit in me, let it be. Yeshua said we have that kind of power when you're walking in the fullness of the Ruach.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. Hope everyone is doing well as we coming into the live this Shabbat day. Grateful for another opportunity to gather. Let us know if you're here in the chat. We see each and every comment that is dropped in the chat here in the live. As you can see today, it is just your brother KB2, but I'm so grateful to be here with family on this Shabbat day, especially here in the chat. Ken and Daddy B are taking care of some family needs this morning, and so it is my pleasure and honor to be here to serve and to support in this stream today. What a blessing it is to gather. If you're grateful for another Shabbat day, put amen into the chat. Grateful again for another gathering. So as we are coming in, we see each and every chat. I see you all coming in. Love, love, love it. Family, we're just, again, truly excited to continue in the conversation that took place on this past Shabbat. What a blessing it was. And just want to thank this family and thank brothers and sisters that continue to support this ministry. And we have truly created a tribe here, a tribe that is seeking after Abba Yah, seeking after the truth. And I want to just say thank you to my brother Jay Well, reached out to me. And this is such a beautiful thing, brothers and sisters. Before we open up in prayer this morning, I just want to say just how much of a blessing it is to just have brothers and sisters that are willing to sharpen and support and do it in such a way that is so edifying. My brother reached out to me because there was something last week that I may have caused or created a little bit of confusion as I was entering into the start of the conversation around the tribe of Jesse specifically. And I thank my brother for reaching out and saying, hey, brother, just wanted to make sure we were clear on this. And so I did want to come forth today and take full responsibility for my error. So I had an error as I was relating the tribe of Ephraim and in connecting that to Jesse. It was a mistranslation in the Hebrew on my part. The tribe of Jesse's tribe was definitely along the line of Judah. That's crystal clear in the gospel genealogy, as we see in the Besorah and Matthew. You can see clearly that Jesse is of the tribe of Yahudah, which obviously his son David became king, who was of the tribe of Judah. So I just want to thank my brother out there and thank all those that send us messages and send us different reactions and different things, comments on videos. Trust me, we read them. We appreciate them. We are not in any way, shape, or form here to say that we have attained it all, that we're not, it's not possible, even as a teacher, even as one that is facilitating a conversation, to make an error. But I just thank you for the spirit of humility, the spirit of correction. We need that in Israel. There's no place in Israel for pride. There's no place in Israel for pride. We all have been endowed with a set apart Ruach of the Most High Elohim. And I just want to thank this family for continuing to know. And please know that as you are supporting in the chat, be sure, as long as you are aligned to the topic and you can back up different positions in the text, we are all for it. So I just want to say thank you to my brother, and I see you. Yes, sir. Love you, brother. And love this family, love this 2444 Ready family and all the ministries that are supporting. Those you who might be watching live, thank you for being here in the live. Thank you for already hitting that like button. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that like button as we get ready to get into this conversation again today. Y'all, I'm super excited. I'm super excited today to get in. You may have saw the title of the stream today and been like, I wonder what that's about, or what's going on with that. Well, brothers and sisters, I cannot wait to share it with you. So as we get ready to get into the conversation, brothers and sisters, I really know that you all are going to be edified, because it's been edifying to me, just as I've been in prayer and in meditation, study of the text, and getting ready for today's session. I'm super excited to bring out these truths that are so important regarding the mindset that we must have as we are walking out this word, and as we are looking to fulfill Yah's plan for our lives. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, let's get ready to bow. Let's get ready to pray. We're about to get into it. Family, if you haven't already done so, hit that like button as we get ready to jump into the conversation. Once again, brothers and sisters, doing battle and making war. Doing battle and making war. Let's talk about it, family. Let's open up in prayer, and let's ask the Most High to bring us into his truth by way of his set apart Ruach. So thank you, brothers and sisters. Let's bow. Let's go before the King. Abba Yah, thank you so much, Father, for being here with us on this day. We don't take it for granted that we have this opportunity to gather. I thank you, Father, that you have given us this ministry to shepherd over, to steward over. What a blessing it is. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. Abba, Father, I just pray for Ken C and Daddy B, who might not be here presently. Abba, Yah, but we know, Father, that you are keeping us in one accord, keeping us in unity. And I thank you for the brothers and sisters that are here in the live, those that are watching on demand, those that are praying, those that are seeking after you, Abba Yah, those that are desiring to receive what you have for us this day. We want your truth to be our compass, to be our lampstand, to be that shining light, that guiding light for our lives. Abba, I pray that every step that we take will be ordained, that it will be lit by the word, that you would allow us, Abba, to receive what you have for us today. Thank you for the Ruach of truth that is leading this conversation as we pick up again on this conversation, a conversation that began that actually has been ongoing, but we just have been focusing on this ancient war spirit, Abba Yah, that you have put into the patriarchs and shown us different pathways and different ways in which we must engage in the world which we find ourselves in. Abba, I just pray that you would just anoint every soul on this stream, that you would anoint our tongues, anoint our thoughts, our comments into the chat. Just be edified here, we ask, Abba Yah. We lift up the name Yeshua HaMashiach high. We thank you for our soon coming Messiah. We thank you so much for the finished work, this covenant that we have in Yeshua, that fact that we can come to you. We can come to you and enter into the holy place, the most holy place, because you have, Yeshua, have put your blood on the mercy seat, and we're grateful. We just, again, thank you for the opportunity to gather and ask that you be glorified on this day. We ask these things to be sealed and done in the name of our Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. And so be it. So be it. Well, let's get ready to get into it, family. Again, as you can see, the title of the chat today, the stream today, is Doing Battle and Making War. Doing Battle and Making War. Brothers and sisters, as we get into this conversation today, as I've been reading and I've been really studying out just this, the spirit that drove Yahudah Maccabee, the spirit that drove Mattathias, his father, the spirit that drove them to, despite the odds that might have been stacked against them in the physical, how were they able to move forward? How were they able to to move past their fear and take action when action was required. And so it's going to be something that we look at today. And I want to start with something today, just to kind of get us thinking about this topic. You know, we started this conversation about this ancient Ruach, a Ruach of war. And so we're going to get into that more. We're going to talk about David a little bit more. We're going to talk about Judah a little bit more. But I want us to see the whole purpose of it all. The purpose of it all, brothers and sisters, the purpose of what Yah has for us right here, right now, particularly in this stream today, is what do we need to be carrying with us every single day to take action when action is required? What do we need when spiritual action is required? When we are in this fight, and please know we are in this fight. When we're in this fight, when we're waging war and it's time to take action, what does it require for us to actually take the action? What must be driving us? What must be leading us in those moments? And so I want to talk about that a little bit, brothers and sisters, as we get into this conversation today. So I'm going to start, brothers and sisters, Yah willing, if you would allow, we're going to start in Tehillim. We're going to start in Psalm Tehillim, the 24th division, a Psalm of David, Psalm chapter 24. Okay, Tehillim chapter 24. Let's see what the Most High has here as we kind of get this conversation started, brothers and sisters. So if you have your Bibles, again, it's on your screen if you are able to observe on your screen. But this is, again, Tehillim, Psalm chapter 24, the 24th Psalm. It reads like this in verse number 1. It says, the earth is the Most High's, is Yah's, the Most High Elohim, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. So everything that we see in this world, it belongs to Yah. It belongs to Yah. Everything. It says the fullness thereof. So everything on the earth, it says in the fullness thereof, the world, it says, and they that dwell therein belongs to Yah. Okay. It says, for he hath founded it upon the seas. Okay. Remember the separation of the waters, the dry land and the waters back during creation. So it was all founded because remember the earth was when before the land and the sea were separated, it says that the earth was full of water and the Ruach of Elohim was hovering over the water. So before the land and sea was separated, it was all sea. It was all water. It says it has founded upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Remember, even the garden was coming forth out of 4 rivers. 4 bodies of water. So it says that it was established upon the floods. And it says, who shall ascend into the hill of Yah? Or who shall stand in his holy place? Verse 4 says, he that has clean hands. Okay. Take note of this, brothers and sisters. So David is saying he's establishing that the Most High, it all belongs to him. Everything that we see around him, the earth, the fullness thereof, the world, it all belongs to him. He says that it was all established on foundations, okay? That Yah established this earth's foundations. And it says, who can ascend to him? Who can be in his presence? Who can stand? Pay attention to this, brothers and sisters. Who shall stand in his holy place? Who shall stand in his holy place? Underscore that if you're taking notes in your Bible. Who shall stand in his holy place? Okay. That concept is going to come up as we think about this ancient Ruach of war. The question David was asking is, who is eligible to stand in the set apart place of the Most High? Okay. Let me ask that question in the chat right now. What is the Ruach telling you right now? Who is it that is able to stand in the holy place, in the set apart place. And he answers the question, but what does that look like today? Who is able to stand in the most holy place? Who is able to stand on a firm foundation in the most holy place? It says, verse 4, he that has clean hands, a pure heart, who has not lifted up his soul unto vanity. Okay, vanity is things that are worthless, things that have no eternal value. He that has not lifted up his soul, who has not allowed his soul to entertain things that are worthless, things that have no expected end, no future, or its future is empty, or its future is void. That's what vanity means. It says, nor sworn deceitfully. So sworn oaths, but sworn oaths in deceit. That's going to come up today. Those that would swear oaths, but they swear oaths in deceit. They make promises, but the promises that they make are not promises with pure hearts. There's other motives behind them making promises. Then it says in verse 5, he shall receive the blessing of Adonai, the Most High, in righteousness from the El of his Yeshua. So the El, the God of his salvation, Yeshua. Now, verse 6 says, if you're just joining us, this is Psalms 24. This is priming us for the conversation here today. It says, this is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Yaakov. So we're talking about Israel, a generation in Israel that is seeking Yah's face. Then it says, verse 7, lift up your heads, O ye gates. So he refers to the ones in Israel. He's talking about the ones in Israel, and he's commanding them, David. Remember, this is a psalm of David. David is commanding them to lift up their heads, O ye gates. He refers to these souls, those that are in the family of Yaakov, as gates. And he says, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors. So he says, be lifted up, lift up your head, O ye gates. Now, we talked about this on last week, brothers and sisters. Let me come back and look at you for a second. What did we say the name Dawid, or the name David? What did we say that name means in the Hebrew? In case you weren't here last week, let me show you, okay? Because this is all coming together. This is all coming together, brothers and sisters. Let me show this to you. This is what we talked about this last week, so we're not going to spend a lot of time here. So last week, we said the name David, for those of you that are taking notes, hit that like button, brothers and sisters, hit that like button. For those of you that are taking notes, the name David, and let me zoom in on this for those of you that want to see the Hebrew number, you want to study this out. This is Strong's number 1732. The name David actually means the access point, the door, the dalet. So from the letters in Hebrew that make up the name David, it's referring to a point of entry. David, the name David, double dalets, right? Double dalet, a dalet here and a dalet here. David, or Dawid. Say that vowel being that vowel point. So with that being said, David understands, because it was an assignment on his life to be an entry point, an entryway. Jesse had an expectation on his youngest son that his youngest son would be a pathway of entry, would be an access point. And then to go back to the Psalm, David refers to Yah's people, Israel. He calls them gates. He calls them doors. It says, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. So if we provide access to him, He will come in. The King of glory shall come in. Who is? Now, this is the question of questions right here. He says, who is this King of glory? Again, we're here on verse 8, brothers and sisters. If you're following along on the screen, we're here on verse number 8. Who is this King of glory? It says, the Most High, Yah, strong and mighty. And it says, the Most High, mighty in battle. So when asked who is the King of glory that's expected to come in, David answers and said, the one that we need to open ourselves up to. Listen, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, this is just the primer. This is just the primer. This is just the primer, brothers and sisters. This is just the primer to get us thinking about this and how it's being presented. This ancient Ruach, this ancient war Ruach, the Ruach that drove David. Last week we talked about how David, being the youngest, being the one who was sent to bring food and rations to his brothers on the battlefield, ended up being the one that fought the champion of Gath, Goliath, the one who told Saul, don't be fearful, don't let reproach. Remember, we talked about that last year. He said, this Philistine has brought a reproach to our people, a shame and an embarrassment to our people. But don't worry about that. I will go forth. I will go forth and make battle. I will do battle with this Philistine, right? He says, don't worry about it. I will go. And then David is saying right here, the one that we have to let in. Are y'all seeing this? Tell me in the chat if y'all are seeing this. If you're seeing, if you're smelling it, if you're seeing it, if you can understand where the Most High is taking us, just put those words of affirmation in the chat, those words of agreement, those words of edification in the chat. David is saying the one that has to be let in, the one that we have to give access to, is the one who is strong and mighty, the one who's mighty in battle. I'm asking us right here, right now, have we let that Ruach in, the Ruach of battle, the Ruach that is strong, the Ruach that is mighty? Are we walking in that? Are we walking in that, brothers and sisters? That is the question. That is the question on the floor. Are we walking in that? Are we walking in that? Now, let me share something with you. And this is something that that we may not have thought about it from this lens, but I want to make sure that we're super clear on exactly why we're talking about it like we're talking about it today. Let's go and let's do a little Hebrew study. Let's do a Hebrew study. Have we ever studied out the English word battle? Have we ever studied out that word? Let's study that word out together. The word battle. It says the Most High that is strong and mighty in verse 8 of the 24th Psalm. And then it says the Most High who is mighty in battle, doing battle, making war. Let's go catch this. Let's go do a interlinear study here on the word battle right here in this text. Let's go to Psalm. Let me share my screen with you, brothers and sisters. Let's share this tab so we can do this together. If you see it, you can go back on the recording and watch this, but I strongly encourage you to do this on your own. But let's look at this, brothers and sisters. Let's go and look up Psalm 24. Let's find that text that we just read, brothers and sisters. Let's find that text and let's go look up that term. Let's go look up that term. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit more for the sake of the recording. Psalm 24. All right, let's look at this. Let's bring it in a little bit more. So we're looking at verse 8, just brought up an interlinear 2 right here, the blue letter Bible. Let's go and let's look at this term, battle, mighty in battle. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that right here in battle? Let me zoom in a little bit. I want to make sure that we can see that term, this term, Malhama. Do y'all see that? Malhama. Let's go look at this. Let's go look at this, brothers and sisters. Make sure that we're still sharing the right screen here. Yes, we are. Hallelujah. Let's look at this. Let's lean in to this concept, brothers and sisters. Do y'all see that on your screen? It is Strong's number in the lexicon, Strong's number 4421 for those that are taking notes. This battle, the root, the function of the term battle. Okay. I want us to look at this maybe in a way that we've not done before around this term battle. What does it mean? So David is saying the one that we need to let in is the one that is strong and mighty, the one that is mighty in battle. That is the ones that we need to lift up our heads. That is the one that we need to open ourselves up to. Let's catch this in its Hebraic function. So let's go letter by letter here and let's get an understanding. So the first letter is a mem. A mem. The first letter here on your screen in this term, the Hebraic term for battle, our English word battle, is the letter mem. Mem signifies a flowing life source like blood or water. Okay, that's what the mem represents. Then we see the lamet. And we know that the lamet is the tool that the shepherd uses to guide, or the tool that the shepherd uses to correct. Let me come look at you for a second. Y'all tell me in the chat if you see what the Most High is telling us. If the Ruach is speaking to you in a moment, put your thoughts and your comments in the chat. So the first letter is the mem. It is a representation of the life-giving force. The life-giving substance that flows like blood or water. Then it says that there's a mem. The mem represents the shepherd's tool of guidance or the shepherd's tool of correction. Then we have a het. That het represents a fence, or something that seals something in or protects something, right? So it represents a fence, something that is going to restrain or constrain you to a particular space, okay? Then we have another mem. The mem again being the tool, the life-giving substance that flows like blood or water. And then we have the hay, the symbol that means to behold, Now, let's look at this and let's see what the Most High is showing us with this term battle. First thing I want you to do is please take note that in battle, blood is required. The first letter we see here is mem, that life-giving source that flows like blood or water. So in the context of battle, blood is required. Then we see that there are instruments or tools that are used to guide and direct. Then we see something that is fenced in, something that is enclosed. So there's no escaping it. It's meant to protect, like a covenant. That once you are in covenant, there's no escaping it. A breach of that fence or a breach of that covenant comes with consequences. Things that spill out that are meant to be kept in, or things that get in that are meant to be kept out. Then we see the substance again, the mem, the life-giving source that flows like blood. We see it again. That blood is to be withheld. So I want to share this with you, brothers and sisters. When it comes to battle, Okay. We believe around here that blood is required. We believe in blood being shed. We believe in blood being spilled out. Say kind of amen in the chat if you agree with that. Around here in this ministry, among this body of believers, we believe that blood is required. In order for certain covenants to be enacted, blood is required. Blood has to be spilled out. Blood has to be poured out. Blood has to be spilled out. Blood has to be poured out. But where is blood spilled out? Where is blood poured out? Blood is poured out in battle. Blood is poured out in battle. So my question for us, brothers and sisters, is that if we want what the Most High is requiring of us, we have to be willing to allow blood to be spilled, that life-giving source to be spilled out, to be poured out. Obviously, our covenant, our blood covenant is sealed in the shed blood of Mashiach. Yahushua HaMashiach, he spilled blood. There was a battle that took place that required his blood. There was a spiritual battle that required blood, that required covenant commitment. So I want us to understand that we do not get to the covenant without battle. We do not get into this blood covenant without battle. Battle is required. It is going, and so what does battle also require? It requires a fight. It requires a fight. It requires weapons. It requires us to be willing to swing and yield those weapons. This is required. This is required. Now, I want us to see something, brothers and sisters, as we think about this whole idea of battle and what it means in the Hebrew. It points to the idea of blood that is being spilled out, blood that is securing a matter, blood that is being poured out, blood that is to be beheld. This is what happens in battle. You don't go to a battlefield and not see blood. You don't go to a battlefield and not see blood. It wasn't a battle if blood was not shed. It was not a battle. There might have been disagreements, there might have been some preparation, but if blood is not shed, then it wasn't a battle. It was not a battle. So we are required to do battle. There is a Ruach that is requiring us to do battle. My question is, where is our fight? Tell me, brothers and sisters, where is our fight? Where is the fight? Where must the blood be shed, brothers and sisters? Think about that as we keep moving forward. Now, I want to show us something, brothers and sisters. I want to show us something. Does anybody ever think about, anybody ever wonder sometimes why it is, since we're talking about this whole idea of bloodshed and battling, and we're talking about like these things that are required. We just said, David just told us that we needed to allow this Ruach in, the King of glory, to come in, lifting up our heads, allowing this to come into our presence, to come into our being, the one that is strong and mighty, the one that is mighty in battle. Brothers and sisters, let's go to let me show you something. Because another thing, those of you that are taking notes, one thing that I have also come to understand, listen, brothers and sisters, one thing that I've come to understand is that battle can, to the naked eye, to the untrained eye, to the eye that doesn't understand the spiritual significance of it, it can appear a bit ruthless. It can appear a bit ruthless. Let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean. So in the battle where David defeats the Philistine, I want to show you something. When you drop all the way down, so if you go to 1 Samuel 17 and you drop all the way down towards the end of the division, I'm going to drop all the way down. So we're right here on the part where David is now facing the champion of Gath, Goliath. He grabs the stones, drew it out. The Philistine saw David, had disdain for him. Again, that reproach. He begins to mock him. And then David declares that he's coming in the name of the Adon of hosts, the El of the armies of Israel, so that this reproach can be removed. Now, I want you to see something here. It says, and it came to pass that when he went to meet David, David grabbed out of his bag one of those stones, slew. He slung that stone at Goliath's forehead. We know the account. That's why I'm moving through it quickly. And then it says, verse 21. Oh, sorry, verse 51. Watch this. Let me come back and look at you for a second. Let me come back and look at you for just a second, brothers and sisters. So let's look at something. It says, verse 51. It says, therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine. So once he struck the Philistine, he took his sword, Goliath's sword, drew it out, slew him, and it said that he cut off his head with it. It says, of course, that the Philistines, they saw this and they fled. Now, look at this. It says that Israel began to chase the Philistine. They spoiled their tents. Now, look at verse 54. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem and put his armor in his tent. Let me ask you a question. Was it necessary for David to cut off the head of Goliath? Was that necessary, brothers and sisters, for David to cut off the head of Goliath? I need to hear your thoughts in the chat. Was it necessary? Remember, we're talking about this ancient Ruach of war. This ancient Ruach of war. We just looked at Psalm 24, and we looked at how the one that's expected to come in, the King of glory that's expected to come in, says, lift up your head, O ye gates. Lift up your head, O ye doors. Who is this King of glory? The Most High, strong and mighty, the Most High, mighty in battle. What is battle? Battle requires blood. Battle requires a tool or an instrument that's going to guide like a shepherd's staff, or that's going to correct like a shepherd's staff. My question is, was it necessary for David to cut off the head of Goliath? And if you say yes, it was necessary. See, I don't lose sight of the theme of this discussion. There is an ancient Ruach of war that requires us to do battle and make war. And my question is, was it necessary for David to take the champion's, his own sword, cut off his head, and not just cut off his head, take the actual head of Goliath? Have y'all thought about this? He took the head of Goliath, and David marched that head to Jerusalem. He took that from the battlefield, and he took his head to Jerusalem, and he put it in his tent. He took it to Jerusalem. Okay, he took it to Mount Zion. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. He took it to Mount Zion. The question is, was that necessary? Okay, while you're thinking about that, let's go back to the Maccabean record. Okay, we put a pin in the Maccabean record for volume 1. I want to show you something that takes place around the same area that we left off on. So if you have your apocryphal text, if you have access to 1 Maccabee, let's go to 1 Maccabee, chapter number 7. Think about the context of what happened with David cutting off the head of Goliath, everything that happened with King Saul being a leader who ended up being rejected, a leader who was in disobedience, a leader who ultimately ended up being rejected. David gets anointed by Samuel the prophet. David is the one that's called to go to the battlefield when no one else would step up, when no one else would move in this ancient Ruach, this different spirit. Remember we talked about that Caleb had a different spirit on the inside of him. Caleb of the tribe of Judah, he had a different Ruach on the inside of him. Now let's go talk about another Judah, another one who had an assignment on his life of the tribe of Judah. Let's go to 1 Maccabee 7. 1 Maccabee 7. 1 Maccabee 7. Okay, so remember that Antiochus Epiphanes, he actually passes away and another king rises up, Greek king rises up in his stead. Read this on your own, brothers and sisters. For the sake of time, I'm going to move you through the most critical aspects of this division of 1 Maccabee. We're in 1 Maccabee 7. I hope you can see that on your screen. Let me come back to make sure this is visible to you all, brothers and sisters. Watch this. Watch this. Okay. Now I'm going to move very quickly through this. So stay with me, brothers and sisters, because I want to show you something, show you a parallel. Remember, I told you there is a Ruach that was similar in David and Yahudah Maccabee, an ancient Ruach, a Ruach of war. And I want to show you something. Okay. Let's go and let's drop down. Let's start at so basically you have let me just kind of move through this quickly. I'm gonna move through it quickly, so bear with me. Go back and read this on your own to get the full context. I'm gonna move quickly. So verse 1 says, in the 150th year, Demetrius, the son of the Seleucid, departed from Rome and came up with a few men to the city of the coast and reigned there. Okay, entered the palace of the ancestors. So it was that his forces had taken Antiochus and Lysias to bring them unto him. It says, wherefore, when he knew it, he said, let me not see their faces. So his host slew them. So we have a slaughtering that takes place at the beginning of the 7th division of 1 Maccabees. It says, now when Demetrius was set upon the throne of his kingdom, okay, there came unto him all the wicked and ungodly men of Israel, having Alchemus, who was desirous to be high priest for their captain. So this wicked Israelite captain who was gathering up all sorts of ungodly men in Israel, or this disobedient faction in Israel. He was gathering them again. Now this is all in pursuit of trying to destroy Yahudah Maccabee and his armies. So they get one. So now Antiochus is using a different strategy. The Greek king is using a different strategy. Now he's using his own people, finding those that are corrupted within the nation of Israel, finding leaders that want positions like this one right here. Says that he desired to be the high priest. So he was willing to do whatever it took to be the high priest. He was willing to do whatever it took to be the high priest. So the Greeks ended up using him to lead an unholy faction of Israelites. Now watch this. Watch what happens. Watch what happens here. Okay. It says, and they accused the people to the king, saying, Judas and his brethren has slayed all thy friends and has driven us out of our own lands. Now therefore send some men who you trust and let him go and seek what havoc he can make upon us. And in the king's land, let him punish them with all them that aid them. So basically, he's this unholy captain, Israelite captain, who gathers all these unholy people. They're making accusations against Judas, and Judas, the one who's called Maccabee, the hammer, in his armies. And so they're wanting them punished. So they're saying, the king is basically saying, do whatever you need to do to bring as much harm on Judah and his armies as possible. It says, then the king chose Bacchides, a friend of the king, who ruled beyond the flood and was a great man in the kingdom, faithful to the king. So he's finding all these people that are loyal to the Greek throne to try to go against a true Hebrew, a true Israelite, a true man of Yah that's willing to protect the covenant that's given to Israel. It says in verse 9, and him he sent with that wicked Alchemus, who he made high priest. So he gave him what he wanted, put him in power, gave him what he wanted. He just wanted to be the high priest, an unholy high priest. Oh, how many are following unholy high priests? How many in Israel are following unholy high priests? How many Hebrews are under bad representation, bad mediators, bad messengers? Pray for Israel. Pray for Israel. Too many are under bad priests, false priests, priests that only want positions and titles, priests who are seeking the approval of the unholy throne, wanting favors, doing deals with the unholy thrones. It says, so they departed, verse 10, and came with great power into the land of Judea. So they're coming after Judah, Maccabee and his armies, when they sent message to Judas and his brethren with peaceable words deceitfully. So remember I told y'all earlier? Told y'all earlier that there are some that, remember, go back to Psalms 24. Take a note, y'all. Take a note. Look, it says, and they departed to go after Judas. And what did they do? They tried to fool Judas. They sent messengers for them, Alchemus, the captain, who's now made high priest by the Greek throne. They send words to Judah that they're coming in peace. They're trying to make a compromise. They're trying to make an unholy covenant with him, and they're deceitfully coming before him. What did we say earlier in Psalms 24? What did we say earlier? Y'all, I gotta make sure you see this, brothers and sisters. Go back and look at. No, you know what? Let me pull it up. Might have to do some parallels here. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. Bear with me. I want to make sure you all see this. See the parallels here. They are on purpose. The parallels are purposeful, brothers and sisters. The parallels are purposeful. Let me go right back to Psalms 24. And let me remind you of what we read at the beginning of the stream. Who is the one? Oh, let me share this. This is Psalms 24. What did we say earlier? Who shall ascend into the hill of Adonai, Most High, or who shall stand in his holy place? Who is it? Only the one with clean hands, only the one with pure hearts, who has not lifted up his soul unto vanity, like that Alchemus we just said, who was an Israelite, but he was full of wickedness and full of evil. And there were many that were wicked and evil that went and joined his army. He wanted a title. He wanted to be high priest. So he was lifting up his soul into vanity, into emptiness, into a void that the Greek king was promising. And he swore deceitfully. Now hold on, in case y'all think that this is, we got to make sure we understand. Now we back in Maccabees 7. Look at this. So he goes out, this is verse 10, where they sent messengers to Judas and his brethren with peaceable words deceitfully. It's the same Ruachs. That arrive. These are not new Ruachs. They are ancient Ruachs that show themselves up in the midst of war. It says, but they gave no heed to their words, for they saw that they were come with great power. Now watch this. Then did there assemble unto Alchemus and Bacchides a company of scribes to require justice. Okay. It says, now the Macedonians were the first among the children of Israel that saw peace of them, for said they, one that is a priest of a seed of Aaron is come with his army, and he will do us no wrong. So they had a lot of people fooled with their deceit. So even people in Judah's Maccabees camp, they thought that, oh, okay, they're of the right seed. Listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm about to say. Y'all tell me in the comments. So am I reading this correctly, brothers and sisters, that it says that this is verse number 13. It says that the Hasidians were the first among the children of Israel that sought peace of them. For they said, one that is a priest of the seed of Aaron is come with his army to do us no wrong. So he was of the right seed naturally. He was bloodline Hebrew. Matter of fact, he was of the priestly seed, Aaron's seed. But he's and they had him fooled. They had him fooled saying, but he's done, but he will do us no wrong. So you can't just say just because somebody has the right bloodline that they're not operating in a ruach of deceit. Come on. Ooh, brother. I need to put that on a t-shirt. I need to put that on a t-shirt. So they were of the right seed, but what Judas and his army didn't know is that they had made an unholy alliance with the Greek authorities. They have been put in power by the Greeks. So they come here, and again, Judas is almost thinking that, like, okay, so this situation, maybe this is a gesture of peace. I love that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I love that. Oh man, brother, we got to talk about putting that on a t-shirt. Oh man, that's good. He says, now watch this. Verse 15. It says, so, man, we got to be careful out here, y'all. Verse 15. So he spake unto them peaceably and swore unto them, saying, we will procure the harm neither you nor your friends. So they're making all these promises. Oh, we're not going to harm you. We're not going to harm your friends. It says, whereupon they believed him. Howbeit he took of them 70 men and slew them in one day according to the words which he wrote. So he got them food, had them let their guard down in this company that went out to meet Alchemus in his deceitful priest. They were of a priestly bloodline. They were Israelites that had fallen by the wayside. They were apostates. They were apostates that were masquerading as true. It says that once they got them close enough, they slew them. They had three. What does it say? They had how many? 60. They had 60 men lying in wait for them to get close enough. Judas's people to get close enough. And it says, and he slew them. Okay, now watch this, verse 17. It says, the flesh of thy saints they cast out, and their blood have they shed round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. So remember, we talked about battle. In battle, bloodshed is required. The enemy wants to take your blood. We have to be willing to shed blood. Look at the context here. We got to be willing to fight. We got to be willing to war in the space where Yah has called us to war. It says that they were shedding their blood all round about Jerusalem. It says there was no place to bury them, so they couldn't even give them a proper burial. Wherefore the fear and dread of them fell upon all the people, who said, there is neither truth nor righteousness in them, for they have broken the covenant and oath that they have made. After this, it says, remove Bacchias from Jerusalem and pitched his tent at Bezeth, where he sent and took many of the men that had forsaken him and certain of the people, and when they had slain them, cast them into a great pit. It says, then committed he unto the country of Alchemus and left him a power to aid him. So Bacchias went to the king. Now watch this. Judah comes in, and again, for the sake of time, I'm gonna have to move it a little bit faster. Go and read the context. Let me drop down here. So there is a defeat that is coming to another one that is brought up into a captain's position named Nicanor. And this is where I want to really hone in. It says, then the king sent Nicanor, one of his honorable princes, a man that bare deadly hate unto Israel. Look at this. So the Greek king raises up another captain and brings him, puts him in a place, a man who has deadly hatred unto Israel, and commands him to destroy the people. So Nicanor went to Jerusalem with great force, and he sent unto Judas his brethren deceitfully with friendly words. Here we go. Do y'all see this ancient Ruach? This ancient Ruach that opposes Yah's people? It's a Ruach of deceit. It is a Ruach of deceit. This is 2 times now they tried to come to Judas in a deceitful way or in a deceitful manner. But brothers and sisters, I gotta show you where we're going for the sake of time. And look what he says. Look at verse 28. See, this is what the Ruach, this is what those false Ruachs want to do. Look at this. They're gonna try to convince you. Or do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? These ancient Ruachs, especially the ones of error, the ones that are not in the spirit of truth, but the spirit of error, they're gonna try to put you in a position to let your guards down. They said, let there be no battle between me and you. This is what Nicanor, this is the message that he sent to Judah. Let there be no battle between me and you, all in an attempt to get him to lower his weapons. What is happening in our lives right now that's trying to convince us not to fight, trying to convince us not to battle, trying to convince us to put our weapons of war down, to lower our guard, to take off our armor, because all we want is peace. The deceit. Now watch this. It says he came therefore to Judas, and they saluted one another peacefully. So Judas is also, so don't get this, don't miss this point. Judas is being deceived right now. He has no reason not to think that people of his own blood, people of his own kin, people of his own kind, his own nation, his own bloodline are coming to him in peace. He has no reason not to believe that when you look at it at face value. It says, so Judas, they saluted one another peacefully. It says, howbeit the enemies were prepared to take Judas away by violence, which thing after it was known to Judas, to wit that he came unto him with deceit, he was so afraid of him that he would not see his face anymore. So somehow, some way, the Most High is going to reveal the true intents of those that are coming into your lives to get you to lay down your weapons, to not fight, to not battle. He's going to show you that true intent. See, this is why we need that ancient Ruach of war, because that ancient Ruach of war will give you the knowledge, will give you the wisdom, will give you the understanding to show you what is really going on in our environments and in our atmosphere. That's what happened to Judah. So Judah woke up and he got out of that space. He got out of that space once he discovered what was going on. Now watch this, verse 31. Nicanor also, when he saw that his counsel was discovered, so when Nicanor was found out, went out to fight against Judah besides Capharsal. Okay, verse 32. It says, where there was slain of Nicanor's side about 5,000 men. So Judah and his armies fled. They slew about 5,000 of Nicanor's men, and the rest of his men fled to the city of David. Now pay attention. Pay attention. It says, after this, Nicanor went up to Mount Zion. So Nicanor went up to Mount Zion. He went up to the same place where David went when he slew Goliath, and he took Goliath's head and took it to Jerusalem and put his head in his own tent. So Nicanor goes to Mount Zion. And there came out of the sanctuary certain of the priests and the elders of the people to salute him peacefully, because Nicanor is one of them. So the priests that are at Jerusalem, they're seeing one Israelite coming, and they're going out to meet him peacefully. These are the ones that are taking care of the sanctuary, those that are taking care of Yah's special place of meeting, in the tent of meeting. It says the priests and certain elders of the people, they went out to salute them peacefully and to show him the burnt sacrifice that was offered for the king. but he mocked them and laughed at them and abused them shamefully and spake proudly. This is Nicanor trying to put reproach on Israel, trying to put reproach on the priests, mocking them. This is the type of enemy that we have. And this is an enemy in our own camp. An enemy in the nation of Israel that was masquerading as a true Hebrew, but had made an alliance with the heathen. It says he swore this wrath, saying, unless Judas and his host be now delivered unto my hands, if ever I come again safely, I will burn this house with that he went out with a great rage. So he threatens the priest and say, unless Judas comes here and be delivered to my hand, because he knew what Yahudah Maccabee, where his heart was. He knew his heart was to protect the temple. Remember before we ended the last volume, what they did for the temple when they had to go in and build the new sanctuary, how they had to take out all the old stones and put the new furniture pieces together. They erected a new altar. They dedicated that place, the Feast of Dedication. Remember that? Remember we talked about that in chapter 4 of 1 Maccabee. So he knew, Nicanor knew. See, Judah had a reputation of protecting the temple. Do y'all hear me? Y'all, because I can't see you. Y'all talk to me. Is this making sense? Y'all talk to me. Are y'all seeing the connections? Or y'all seeing what the Most High is showing us? The enemy knows what will get you to move. He knows the things that you hold most dear, like that sacred place, that sacred place of meeting. Nicanor knew that if I go and I threaten these priests, I'm gonna draw him out. I'm gonna draw Yahudah Maccabee out. He's gonna come here. He might have won that last battle, but I'm gonna hit him where it hurts. See, the enemy is ruthless. So you might have thought that David cutting off Goliath's hair, you might have thought that was ruthless. But it's even more ruthless to go into the place and deceive the priests of the Most High and threaten to kill the priests of the Most High, the ones who are charged to protect the presence of the Most High, the ones who are making sacrifices, the ones who are giving daily burnt offerings, the ones who are offering the offering of incense every day, the ones who are lighting the menorah, the ones who are taking care of the presence of the Most High on behalf of the people. That's who Nicanor went out to threaten. That's ruthless. When you know that your strength and your power comes from the Most High, and it's a deception. See, that's what the enemy does. He tries to deceive us in the place where he knows we are dependent on, which is the presence of the Most High. Now, watch this. Watch this, brothers. I'm trying to take you somewhere. It says, then the priest entered in and stood before the altar of the temple weeping. So Nicanor has now threatened the temple priests. He's threatening him, saying, thou, O Adonai, did choose. These are the priests now praying unto the Father in heaven because they've been threatened. Their lives have been threatened. He says, didn't choose this house to be called by thy name and to be a house of prayer and a petition for thy people. Do y'all remember when we read Matthew 21? Remember when Yeshua went into Jerusalem? Yeah, see, Yeshua had this same Ruach. See, Yeshua had this same Ruach, y'all. Are y'all seeing the parallel? See, in Matthew 21, Yeshua went with his disciples into Jerusalem, and he came into the temple and he saw them selling. He saw them making unholy transactions in the temple space. And did he not say he started turning over the money tables and throwing people out? And he said, my Father's house is going to be called a house of what? A house of prayer, but you made it a den of thieves. Look at what they're praying. The priests are now praying, and they're saying, you called us, you put your name here. This is to be a house of prayer, a petition for thy people. It says, be avenged of this man and his host, and let them fall by the sword. So the priests are praying judgment on Nicanor and his armies. Remember their blasphemies and suffer them not to continue any longer. Now watch this. So Nicanor went out of Jerusalem, pitched his tent at Beth Horon, where a host out of Syria met him. So they made another alliance with another enemy nation to come against Judah, because they knew that soon as Judah found out that the priests in Jerusalem, that were guarding the temple, that they were being threatened, he would come. Now watch this. But Judas pitched in Adasa with 3,000 men, and he prayed there, saying, listen to Judas' prayer. He says, "O Adonai, when they that was sent from the king of the Assyrians blaspheme," so he remembers what Yah has done. "Thine messenger or angel went out and smote 180 of them. Even so destroy thou this host before us this day, that the rest may know that thou hast spoken blasphemously against thy sanctuary, and judge him according to his wickedness." Now watch this. "So the 13th day of the month of Adar, the host joined battle. But Nicanor's host was discomfited, and he himself was first slain in battle. So the one who threatened the priest was the first one to die in battle." Nicanor was the first one to die in battle. It says, "Now when Nicanor's hosts saw that he was slain, they cast away their weapons and fled." Doesn't that sound like the same response when David slew Goliath? Didn't we just read that when Goliath was slain and he chopped off his head, didn't it say that they took off running? They fled. Y'all, you got to see the Ruachs that are moving. See, these Ruachs are not moving differently. They have the same assignment. See, these Ruachs have the same assignment, and the enemy will react the same when we take the same approach. Do you see this? Then it says, verse 45. This is, if you're just joining, this is 1 Maccabee 7. We're on verse 45. I'm moving through this very quickly because I want to show you something. Verse number 45. It says, "Then they pursued after them." So now Judah and his armies pursue after Nicanor's host, who now their leader has been killed. He was the first one killed in battle. "They pursued after them a day's journey from Adasa unto Gezer, sounding an alarm after them with their trumpets." Make a note of this, brothers and sisters. Write this down. Make a note under this, brothers and sisters. Numbers chapter 10 tells you the sounds of war, the trumpets that make the sounds of war. So they begin to go after them, sounding an alarm after them with their trumpets. So they sounded the sound of war. They knew it was time to fight. The Judas and his armies, when they were pursuing the enemy, they were blowing the trumpets. Go read Numbers chapter 10 and go listen to the trumpet sound. Go read it, talk about the trumpet sound. Now watch this. The war cry of the trumpets. Numbers 10, verse 46. "Whereupon, when they came," watch this, "whereupon they came forth out of all the towns of Judea round about and closed them in." So the Judah's armies begin to close the Nicanor's. Remember, these are evil, wicked Israelites that have made an allegiance with the unholy king. They've come in, and now the Judah's armies have surrounded them. Okay, it says, "Close them in so that they turning back upon them, pursued them, were all slain with the sword, and not one of them was left." Now watch this. "Afterwards they took the spoils and the prey." Are y'all seeing this? 47. "Afterwards they took the spoils and the prey, and smote off Nicanor's head and his right hand, which he stretched out so proudly, and brought them away and hanged them up in Jerusalem." Brothers and sisters, are y'all seeing? Judah did the same thing to Nicanor that David did to Goliath. He didn't just defeat him, he took off his head, smote off his head, not just his head, but also cut off his hand, the same hand that he had raised up to curse Israel, the same hand he had used to deceive Israel, the same hand. Can you see the hand represents the power? The hand represents the work. It represents the strength. So Nicanor cut off his head, cut off his hand, and took the head and the hand and took it back to Jerusalem and hanged it up in Jerusalem like a trophy. And it says, "For this cause, the people rejoiced greatly, and they kept that day with gladness." And they made a tradition of keeping this day. They made a tradition. If you keep reading, they made a tradition of keeping this day. Brothers and sisters, what is all this about? What are we trying to say with all of this? We see an ancient Ruach of war show us on multiple occasions that if we are willing to fight, if we are willing to allow him to come in, the one who is mighty in battle, the one who is strong and mighty, if we allow that Ruach to come in, he will fight your battles. See, one thing about this, don't get it twisted, brothers and sisters. We do not have the power in and of ourselves to fight these battles. But with the ancient Ruach of war, the one that our Father holds. Do you know that Exodus 15, remember when the Israelites crossed over the Red Sea, the Sea of Reeds? Remember when they crossed over? Remember Miriam, Moses? Remember they sung a song and they said that their Yah was a Yah of war. Our Yah is a Yah of war. If you go back and you read the song that they sung when they crossed over the Red Sea. Read that song. They called their Elohim a Yah of war. They called him a Yah of war. This is Exodus 15. What I'm saying to us, brothers and sisters, is in and of our own strength, we do not have the power to stand against the enemies that have been crafted against us. But with the set apart spirit of war and with Yah on our side, we will fight and win this battle. And you don't have to worry about cutting the enemy's head off. He will give you the tools. He will give you the strength. He will empower you in your season to cut off the enemy's head. Ruthless. You may say, oh man, this is ruthless. Took off his head. Well, let me tell you, you serve an enemy that is ruthless as well. And he has no problem. Listen, y'all ever thought about how when they would go into battle and they would take the spoils, sometimes they would be charged to kill the women and the children? Y'all ever thought about that? Man, don't y'all say, man, that's kind of rough. That's kind of rough. Like they got to kill the women and the children of these subjected nations. You ever thought about that? Got to kill the women and the children. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why King Saul was rejected, because with the Amalekites, he did not utterly destroy them when he was told to do so. He didn't utterly destroy them. So the Most High, the Most High wanted that nation destroyed. Now watch this. The enemy, if he has a chance to destroy you, please believe he will. He is looking to kill and destroy. He's looking to destroy your family, your life, your women, your children. If he gets a chance, he's going to destroy them. He's going to destroy them in the mind, which is what leads to ultimate physical death. The mind goes first before the physical. The spirit goes first before the physical. He will destroy our minds if we allow him. We cannot sit back and we cannot be. We cannot act timidly in battle. See, when war is happening, when battle is going on, you can't be timid. You can't be timid out here. You got to yield the weapons that you've been given and know that you serve a Yah who has gone before you and has given you charge. He's giving you instructions. He's giving you orders. And I'm grateful for it. Brothers and sisters, I pray this has been a blessing for you. It's been a blessing for me to bring it out. It's been a blessing for me to bring it out. I tell you what, brothers and sisters, it has been a blessing for your brother to bring this out. There is a Ruach that is required of us. There is an ancient Ruach that is required of us. All praises to the Most High. Brothers and sisters, thank you for being here with us today. It's been an honor to be with you here on this day. Brothers and sisters, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Remember, if you're interested in volunteering with 144 Kids Ministries, we are definitely continuing to seek that out. Reach out to us. We'd love to. You can DM us. You can also reach us on any one of our platforms. If you have interest in being a part of that. Y'all doing okay out there? You know, it's not having Daddy B and Ken here. I can't hear and engage like I'm used to. But I'm so glad to be here with you all today. It's been a blessing. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button. Grateful to be here. And I hope you've been edified today. And I hope this has been encouraging. I hope it's been empowering to you. And pray that the Most High bring back this ancient spirit, because guess what? There is a war that we're constantly in, and we know there's a war before us. There's a war coming, and we have got to walk in this Ruach. All praises to the Most High Yah. Bless you, brothers and sisters. Let me pray out, and Yah willing, we'll see each other on next Shabbat. Man, I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited about today, man. This was a blessing to bring out. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoy giving it. It brings me joy to bring out this word, man, because I want to see it rise up in me. I don't know about you all, but I'm praying that this Ruach rise up in you, wherever you are, brothers and sisters, whether you hear live or on demand, wherever you're called to fight, wherever your battlefield is. I'm praying that the Most High put this spirit in you and give you the wisdom to show you the deceit of your enemy, those that are around you that want to destroy you, to show you their plans, and to give you the spirit that you need to cut them off at the head. All praises. Man, let me close. I'm trying to close, but I'm stirred up. Let's pray, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Abba Father, for this day. Thank you for this word. I pray that this word was set deep within our hearts. I pray we would go back and watch this and study it out and go and read 1 Maccabee 7 in its context. Read it slowly. Look and see how you are showing us where this spirit has shown up throughout Israelite history, and how you are bringing this history back and giving this history back to your people. We're grateful for it. Grateful for this Shabbat day. I pray a blessing over all that are gathered here right now. Oh, Abba, thank you so much for all that you're doing. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you, to facilitate this conversation. And Abba, we just look forward to the next. Thank you for everything that you're doing in our lives. Seal us up. Make us ready for battle. Make us ready for war, Abba Yah. We love you and honor you and seal us in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, our Messiah and King. Amen. And so be it. Hallelujah, our brothers and sisters. Shabbat Shalom. Have a blessed one.
It's right there in front of you. It's given to you. Live holy. As irritating as it might be to everybody else around you, live holy.
Many of our communities are falling because we're not taking the time to get this knowledge, getting wisdom, and being able to counsel people that we are in an interaction with.
You can walk into the room and you can say, by the power of the spirit in me, let it be. Yeshua said we have that kind of power when you're walking in the fullness of the Ruach.